soaked them in carb cleaner for 2 days, and the fuel pickups that I pulled out of this tank still don't make that sound when I shake them. So I just bought 2 new ones. It's going to save a lot of hassle. Sometimes you just got to bite the bullet and spend $1 or $2. It's time to try something that hasn't happened in probably 20 or 25 years. I've got fuel in the tank. Let's see if it'll run on it. Pretty exciting. Kind of want to have a look and see if the primer's going to prime. See why it wouldn't. Key on. Little throttle. I don't think she'll run away, but here goes nothing. Come on. This is the headlight switch off of the Everest, and it is not working at all. So I'm going to take this apart and see what's going on. It could be impossible to get one anyway. Let's see what's in here. Oh, feels like some spring tension. Those contacts aren't looking too happy. That could be all that's wrong with it. This little box assembly and spring is really just what makes it have positions. It doesn't really do anything electrical at all. Yeah, that's just for the detents. So it has no electrical function at all. It's just those contacts. So this seems like pretty repairable, and really to replace it would be completely ridiculous. A little emery cloth to clean the contacts up. Should look like the one on this side. I think this is going to work. That just sits on top of here, rides in there like that. And this, I don't remember which way this was sitting, but I think it was sitting this way. It probably doesn't even matter. As long as I can put the connector back on, it doesn't matter. Result! Nice. Tells me I ought to clean these terminals up a little bit too. And that took about 6 minutes. Yeah! Oh, I turned it off. It's, what is it today? March 5th. And it's been snowing pretty steady since last night. It's not that cold. It's only about -8 Celsius, kind of kind of thing. So that's what, 16 or so Fahrenheit. But as you can see, pretty deep snow. So time to, I guess, my wife almost drove off the driveway. You can see down there on her way to work today. So I need to fire up the tractor and get this cleared up. So step one is see if it has fuel, and step two is see if it'll start. I haven't run it in a while, but I guess even to get in, I'm gonna need that. All right, it's time to let Cubbie eat. There's so much snow that steering is actually really quite difficult. If it was much warmer, this would be almost impossible, but at least it's cold enough that the snow is kind of fluffy. So let's tackle this. I'm going to put you in my pocket here. It'd be nice and warm there. To do. Talk to you later. Thanks for watching. As it tends to happen around here, things just got complicated. I had to boost Cubbie to get it started. I've been having problems with that battery, and I made a couple passes up and down the driveway, and then just got back kind of in front of the shop here, and it just died and won't start. So I guess I'm gonna kick the Jeep out, kick Ol Gil out, see how well I can get on with doing some blading at least with Ol Gil, and bring the Cubbie in here and diagnose what's going on. You know, needs a battery for sure, but maybe it's not charging. I haven't looked at it, so interesting. Ol Gil didn't really do the job. It still has drive issues. So this is what it's come down to. Luckily, Cubbie's not that heavy, but still makes it pretty hard to clear the snow out there. Shovel time, I guess. So yesterday, did some poking around with the electrical system, and you saw I got the light switch working, but this taillight only works if I physically ground it to the chassis, so there's something wrong with the ground circuit. I've been just so pleased with how the channel has been growing through February and March. So we're almost at 250, which is pretty amazing. I was just listening to a live stream here from an event called the No Name Nationals, which is happening in October in Sikeston, Missouri. And it's for any YouTube automotive channel that wants to join. You have to have a minimum of 500 subscribers. So they're getting a lot of smaller channels, guys that literally heard about the event and started a channel, and they're going. I can't go because of, I got Luke and I got work and stuff, so I'm not going to be able to go. But that doesn't mean that I don't want to hit. I still have a goal of 500 subscribers by October. I was hoping, honestly, for about 300 by the end of the year, but the way things have been going, I'm sure I can do 500 by October. So that's kind of my goal. Yeah, I can't go. I mean, what would I race anyway? The Patriot, the Gilson, they're all pretty slow, but nevertheless, the people that go, even if they're not racing, they're going to have a blast. Just meeting people that they otherwise wouldn't. Wild Rose Garage is heading down. They're out of Alberta. He's from, I think he's in the Edmonton area. So, we got some people going that's a long drive. So good on them. We're cheering for them. They're going to have so much fun. It's a great event. Enough talking. Let's see what we can find in here. See why it's not grounding. Let's come off. Oh, yeah. Oh, hello. That's a really pretty color, but it's not what you want to see in an electrical circuit. It's matching inside there. So on the subject of the No Name Nationals, I got to give a shout out to John Wilburn. Go check out his channel and check out the No Name Nationals. If you're into cars and fixing up old cars and racing and whatever, anything with 4 tires, check out his channel and follow the No Name Nationals. It's going to be pretty epic. Also a shout out to Bear Rose Garage. He's going. I've just recently met him. He's been following the channel and I've been watching his, and he's got great stuff. Great guy. Definitely go check him out if you haven't already. As far as this goes, the only thing I've been able to do with this socket thus far is kind of a chemical intervention. I haven't pulled it out yet, so hoping this works, and took some emery cloth to there we are, to that terminal, so now it looks not so pretty as it did before, but hopefully more friendly to electrons. Let's plug this in and see. I've got the battery on a charger. It's not the greatest battery, but should work for these purposes, I hope. Let's see. Anything? Doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. There's nothing saying that this is even really where the problem is. I guess I should check and see if the lights are on in the front. Alright, so I have power back here. Seems like it's kind of semi-permanent on the brake light. The switch is pretty stuck, but obviously it should be on right now and it isn't, so this ground is just not working. I may have to put a new end on here. In the interest of riding this thing tomorrow, I just can't be concerned with that right now. I'm going to put this all back together. This plastic is so brittle. But it is on the list of things to fix up. Just everything I can fix up, especially if it's $0, is just another thing that works. And I like things that work. So, riddle me this. I've been working on that tail light. I've been cleaning up a little bit. I turned around to see that. The ground wire is not connected. It's almost as if 45-year-old machines have electrical gremlins. I don't mind telling you, that was not a very fun job. The brake light still wasn't working on this thing, and I really did want to get it working. So eventually determined that the ground was kind of really no good. And there's just a little jumper wire for the ground that runs down to where the seat bolt's on, and I kind of didn't really want to pull it off, but I didn't have much choice, so I slid underneath, tried to undo the bolts, and they're so rotted out, like there's just nothing left of them. They just twisted right off. So I pulled the whole seat off, plywood underneath is super rotten. I mean, it's been sitting outside for who knows how long in a field. But I was able to kind of patch it back together a little bit, staple the seat cover back down where all the staples had basically rusted away. Fixed up the ground, put in some new bolts to mount the seat, and kind of just fixed things up. Got the fuel tank put back in properly. I pulled it out to kind of get at the wiring and stuff, because the wiring runs under the seat, out the front of the seat, and then under the fuel tank to the front of the sled to the connector. So everything is patched up and put back together. I'm pretty tired, but before I head in for the night, let's see if it works. Fingers crossed. All right, so key on, and I'm watching in the camera. First time I'll see it too. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a relief. And it shuts off before it was staying on all the time too. Oh, we have tail light. Nice. So that's a small victory. Next is to get it running. I had super flooded it, but hopefully I can get it running pretty quick and ride this thing pretty soon before the snow disappears. That would be nice.